Greetings, everyone. It's Glenn Calloway coming to you from the basement. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. It's Friday. A couple of announcements. Just one announcement, actually. 5 o'clock tonight, approximately 5 o'clock, till probably 6:30. I am hosting my good friend Rich Strickler's birthday celebration. So we are all going to get together and show some love for our good friend Rich. So you're all welcome to join us. Anybody who wants to come on for a few minutes and give him a hug and a kiss is more than welcome. And 5 o'clock tonight. I might do a short video just on top of this, just to kind of put it out there. Anyway, haven't done a video for a couple of days because I didn't have a clue what to do. So then it just dawned on me. I'd say 90% of my content, embarrassingly, is focused on white artists. I don't know why that is, because I love music by black artists and play a lot of it in my house. So I thought I would do a video today, my favorite albums by black artists. And I'm not ranking them because they're all amazing, and just show you a few of my favorites, maybe some surprises, and let's see. So I might actually say what my absolute favorite is, because I do have one that I think is just a masterpiece. Let's get the rock and blues stuff out of the way. Jimi Hendrix. Just what can you say about Jimi? Possibly the greatest guitar player that ever, rock blues guitar player that ever lived, and very influential, inspired others to greatness, and Jimi Hendrix. Oh, I'm just throwing this stuff out there. Let's go with another guitar player, jazz guitar player, who's my favorite jazz guitar player. I've never heard a bad album from this guy. If you don't own any of this stuff in your collection, even if you're not a jazz fan, you should take some time and listen to this guy, because I think you'd like him. Grant Green. This album's called Idle Moments. Fantastic. A lot of Grant's music, his instrumental backing sometimes is just like a organ, and like a Hammond organ and stuff like that, and sometimes it's more jazzy, but man, I'm a big fan of Grant Green's. This is a great album, Idle Moments. Oh, how could you not talk about black artists without mentioning this man, Miles Davis? This is a pretty cool album. It's came out on Record Store Day, maybe about 3 years ago, and it's Rare Miles from the Complete Bitches Brew Sessions. It's called Double Image. It's actually a pretty good frickin' record. You should, if you can find this, there's some great, I guess, outtakes, alternate takes. I'm thinking it's on colored vinyl, so let's check. I don't know. There's the inserts. It's well done. This was one of my best. Oh yeah, on red vinyl. This was one of my best ever purchases on Record Store Day. I don't know if it's still available or not. Let's check out the gatefold. Okay. Oh yeah, great pictures of Miles in there. Well done album. Very cool. Oh, here's an interesting one that's, I think, kind of obscure. Let me know if you've ever heard of this guy before. His name is Dadawa, and the album's called Peace and Love. It's Jamaican reggae with psychedelic guitar kind of involved in it. It's a really cool record. Dadawa, Peace and Love. I think this is a really cool album. It's on the Wildflower label. But give this one a listen. Pretty interesting album. Oh, okay, let's go through the rest of the vinyl, and then I got a bunch of CDs. While I'm showing Miles, I neglect to show, which is many consider the greatest blues album of all time, Kind of Blue. So if you haven't delved into Miles Davis, this was my entry point into, almost literally my entry point into jazz. So it's an amazing, amazing album. Very bluesy, but still very jazzy. Okay, The genius, Ray Charles. What I Say, Ray Charles. I'm currently reading a book on Stax Records, and Jim Stewart, the gentleman who started that label, in his garage. And, back in the day, this is only the late 50s, early 60s when, we had race records and the black people were not played, black music was not played on white radio stations. They had to have their own radio stations, and people like Elvis and Pat Boone and all these white guys, they were giving us the music that black people weren't allowed to perform themselves on the radio. We weren't listening to it, and we were hearing all these songs. And it wasn't until people like Jim Stewart came along and really changed things. So guys like that are real important in the history of music and the advancement of black music into our everyday culture where it should be. And very cool. But one of the reasons I mentioned that was because one of the early songs he heard was What I Say by Ray Charles, that really kind of got him really excited about this type of music. But Genius Sings the Blues, Ray Charles, I mean, just fantastic. And Ray Charles, What I Say, Sings the Blues, it's got Hard Times on it, The Right Time, I'm Moving On, I Believe to My Soul, I Wonder Who. Fantastic records these are. Ray, the genius. Okay, more album. One of my favorite albums, Sly and the Family Stone, Stand. Oh man, this is a great record. This is Everyday People on it. You Can Make It If You Try. I Want to Take You Higher. Sing a Simple Song, that were all staples in the Sly and Family Stone catalog. And there's also like a 10 minutes instrumental called Sex Machine that is absolutely incredible. This is an amazing, amazing record. Stand by Sly and Family Stone. Okay, now we got a bunch of CDs and stuff to show you. What about the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin? I love this album. Aretha Franklin, live at the Fillmore West. Man, this is a good album. Billy Preston playing in the band, I believe. She does Respect on here. Love the One You're With, the Stevie Wonder song, or Stephen Stills song. Stevie Wonder, he'll come up later. Bridge Over Troubled Waters, Eleanor Rigby, Make It With You, the Bread song, Dr. Feelgood, which is an Aretha song, Spirit in the Dark, which was written by Aretha, and Ray Charles comes out and does Spirit in the Dark with her on this, and Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand. Here's the band: Billy Preston, Jerry Germont on bass. If you know anything about the history of bass players, horns, King Curtis, Wayne Jackson is in this band. Man, just an incredible live performance. It was recorded, I don't know if it's the same night or in the same weekend as another live album that I'm going to show you that is a huge favorite of mine, King Curtis, live at the Fillmore West. This is one of my favorite live albums, for sure, on the Atco label. Love to find this on vinyl. Man, this is a great record. There's King Curtis. Died tragically. He was murdered, stabbed to death, I think, unfortunately, or sadly, because he was just an awesome talent. Whiter Shade of Pale, he does a version of Whole Lot of Love on here. I Stand Accused. Them Changes, a Buddy Miles song. Ode to Billy Joe. Mr. Bojangles, Signed, Sealed, and Delivered. Soul Serenade. Them Changes. Wow, it's such a great record. King Curtis. What else have we got here? My favorite Motown band, the Four Tops. I don't have any of their studio albums, and it bugs me. I really need some because when I was a kid, I had them, and so I got a Four Tops collection, and I mean, man, what a band! Oh, Levi Stubbs, man, could that guy sing? Baby, I need your lovin'. I can't help myself. Reach out, I'll be there. Standing in the shadows of love. Bernadette. Walk Away, Renee. I mean, just wow. These guys were incredible. Bob Marley. My favorite Bob Marley album is Exodus. I'm looking for this on vinyl. I found a used copy the other day for $15. I was so happy. It was like, when you find just that stuff you're searching for, because I'm having a hard time finding his stuff in the used bins. I bring it home. It's got a warp in it that's like the needle going. I had to take it back. Man, I was disappointed. But I have it on CD, and love Bob Marley. One of the great Canadian jazz artists of all time. Probably my favorite jazz artist, Oscar Peterson. This is an amazing record. It's called Night Train. If you're kind of interested in getting into jazz, but you just don't think you'll like it, or it's hard to listen to, this is one I highly recommend. It's real bluesy piano and just a great record. I've shown this before, but I'm very proud of this. Best wishes, Oscar Peterson. Yeah. How can you talk about black music without talking about this guy, James Brown? Again, I don't have any of his studio albums, but I have this comp which has everything on it. The CD of JB, James Brown and Other Soul Classics. Oh, we've got ourselves Superbad, Think, It's a Man's World, Try Me, Out of Sight, I Got You, Prisoner of Love, Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, Sex Machine, Please, Please, Please. I mean, man, this guy, again, just one of the great artists of the century, James Brown. Getting back to the blues, Muddy Waters. I love this album. Folk singer. This is the Super Audio CD, which sounds amazing. I would love to get this MoFi vinyl. One day it's going to happen, but I'm happy with this because it sounds so good. Acoustic blues, Muddy Waters, Buddy Guy, and Willie Dixon on bass. I mean, just an incredible record. If you've never heard this, you're missing something. Great jazz album that's come out in the last, I'm going to say 10 years. It might be off by a year or two. I love this frickin' album. One of my favorite jazz albums. Modern jazz, just so well done. Really talented guy. Kamasi Washington. I love that cover. Another album that I really want to get on vinyl. Kamasi Washington. It is called The Epic. This is an incredible record. I went to see Kamasi in Toronto at the Danforth Music Hall. Man, it was a great show. My wife didn't like it, but I loved it. There are a ton of artists playing on this with him. All names I do not recognize, and just a great record. The Epic. Okay. 3 more, 4 more. How could you not mention the staple singers and pop staples? Again, I have a comp. The staple singers, the very best of. I got to meet Pop Staples when I worked for Mariposa. I brought him to the hotel, took him up to his room, made sure he was comfortable, got a chance to talk to him. Just the gentlest, nicest man you would ever want to meet in your life. Man, it was a thrill. Sitting on the dock of the bay, they do on here. Respect Yourself, which was a big hit for them. Yeah, this is fantastic. Staple singers. And how about that version of The Wait they do on The Last Waltz with the band. Oh, another great jazz artist that anybody who's not into jazz probably would like, Jimmy Smith at the organ. Jimmy Smith, I have this one of these 5 original hit things, or not hits, but original album series things. 5 original albums. Jimmy Smith, Hammond B3 organ, sweet man, so good. Jimmy Smith is fantastic. Again, never heard a bad song from this guy. This contains the Incredible Jimmy Smith Volume 2, the Incredible Jimmy Smith Volume 1. These are live, those two. Jimmy Smith, a new star. Jimmy Smith at the organ. Jimmy Smith plays Fats Waller, another great black artist. In Jimmy Smith's house party. Check out Jimmy Smith. Okay. I saved the best 2 for last, I think. Otis Redding. What a voice. Died too young, tragically, in a plane crash. Otis Blue. Highly recommend this album. Otis Redding sings soul. Respect is on here. I've Been Loving You Too Long is on here. Shake's on here. He does My Girl. He does Wonderful World. Rock Me Baby. Satisfaction. Man, I mean, this is a great album. Last but not least, the masterpiece of all masterpieces, my favorite black artist, Stevie Wonder. I got a chance to see Stevie open for the Rolling Stones in 1972. I've never seen him since, would love to. And Songs in the Key of Life, one of the great albums of all time. Again, this is something I'm looking for on vinyl. Can't find it cheap enough. Everywhere I look, it's expensive, but I'll get it. What an album. And this has, like, oh my God, so many people playing on it. And I Wish is on here. Sir Duke is on here. Isn't She Lovely is on here. Oh man, like, just, wow, what an album. Again, if you've never heard Songs in the Key of Life, just, you're missing, like, one of the masterpieces of all time. So that's my salute to black artists and my favorite albums. If anybody wants to jump on this, that would be much appreciated. Everyone have a good day. We'll see you at 5 p.m. tonight. Let's party. Take care.